This episode of Ask Your Dad is brought to you by Cameron Jensen at First Colony Mortgage. So Cameron was the mortgage lender when we bought our house about a year and a half ago that we worked with. He was awesome. He held our hand through the whole thing. I texted him probably 2,000 times in 2 weeks, so I had so many questions. I didn't know what we were doing. It was our first house, and he was awesome and super patient. Everything was really smooth. And then about 3-4 months ago, we actually refinanced our house, and I went through Cameron to get a lower rate. And again, I was stunned at how easy it was. He handled everything and kind of walked me through the process, and we were able to save a couple $100 on our mortgage, and he handled everything. So if you are looking to buy a house, or if you want to refinance with the rates are low, go ahead and give him a call. His phone number is 801-471-4101. So that's anyone that's here in Utah. He can help you out, and his NMLS number, his license number is 1557102. That way, you gotta know he's legit. So his number again is 801-471-4101. So give Cameron a call. Let him know that you heard the ad on Ask Your Dad, and he will take care of you. He's a great guy.
Ask Your Dad.
Welcome to Ask Your Dad. This is episode 7. We've made it 7 episodes. Can't believe it. Thought we were going to do maybe 1 or 2 and fizzle out, but we've made it to episode 7. I'm your host, Nate Flake, and we have 3 gentlemen here with us today. I'm going to let you guys kind of introduce yourselves and how many kids you have.
All right. I am Jed Beck, and I have 4 kids, 1 wife.
1 wife?
Just 1.
We're here in Utah with the 1 wife.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm going with 1.
Got to clarify after that
Yeah.
bill they passed yesterday.
What's their ages?
Oh, geez, put me on the spot. 14, let's see, 14, almost 12, 9, and 7.
Okay.
So girl oldest, 3 boys,
Got it.
right in a row.
And then I'm Matt Flake, and I've got 5 kids. I got 4 girls.
He didn't have a TV in his room,
Yeah.
so went with the 5 kids.
I have 4 girls, 1 boy. They range from 4 to almost 13. So almost 13, 11, a 9-year-old, 7, and 4. Yeah,
Kind of full house.
full house. Yeah.
You guys have almost the same age then, spread.
They're close, yeah. I think all of us have pretty similar aged kids.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Chad Young. I have 3 kids, 15-year-old boy, 12-year-old daughter, and a 9-year-old daughter.
There you go.
And we all married sisters.
Yeah, so Matt's my brother,
Yep.
and then these are his 2 brother-in-laws.
Yes.
These guys are all married. They basically cover the entire Bennett family, right?
Yeah, we got them all.
Yep. Yep.
So, and then so Chad was talking about his 15-year-old. My 8-year-old's had a crush on your 15-year-old since as long as time can.
A lot of
Remember
girls in
worships
Utah
Dalton.
County have been in that. I think
Remember
in
how
that
much?
realm.
Yeah, Coco worships.
I forgot.
Worship
This was
Dalton.
like back when she was like 3 or 4,
Yeah.
though, and he
Yeah.
was like.
She saw
maybe
talent
8.
early because he's
Yeah, she
getting
saw
the
it.
ladies.
She had a crush when he was like 9, like 8 or 9, and she was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We can
Like-
call her an early identifier.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got good taste.
An early identifier.
And
She
still
knows.
does,
Yeah,
too.
she identified as not lesbian.
She found the
talent. We knew.
She found the talent early.
Well, she still does have a crush on him, doesn't she?
Yeah, she still. We bring it like literally. We say his name, and she gets like she'll full sprint into the other room, super
She
red.
melts.
Yeah, she loves him.
He loves
She,
that too.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. When you're that age.
Yeah, I've heard stories. Dalton's the man. Was it you that was he the one that at the concert like took his shirt off and the girls were was that the same guy?
That
It was
was
at Kenny Chesney
Kenny
concert.
Chesney.
I was there.
Yeah, I don't know why we were there, but we were at the Kenny Chesney.
Yeah. No, why did I just admit that? I'm like, yeah, I was
that
right
you
there.
that took your shirt off, Dad, or was
Yeah.
that Dalton?
Yeah. I don't remember the details, but I do know that there
Did
was
you
a
have your
girl.
shirt off?
I don't remember. I probably
We know
did.
he did.
Yeah. I was probably questionable, but
Well, there was a
unreal.
girl asking for him to take a picture.
Oh yeah,
with
they
his
came
shirt
out of
off.
nowhere.
Yeah.
So he already had
he
his shirt
did-
off.
he had the button shirt, and so he
kinda
just kind of
Oh,
broke it
yeah.
open, and it
the
was just
easy-
open.
He had the snapper.
Yeah, he went snapper, and he kind of
Yeah,
went.
yeah.
He filleted open, and immediately.
That's a note
They
too
fought,
special.
dude.
And here I am, the dad,
Yeah.
and out of the corner of my eye, I see these 20-year-old girls.
yeah,
over
they were a
there.
little bit older.
He's
And they
like
come
15.
Well, that
Come to take pictures. He was
He would've
probably.
been
It was a year
13.
ago, 2 years ago.
13 or 14.
Yeah. We were out by mandate at Kenny Chesney, by the way. We weren't there by choice.
Well, me and Jed had buttons, and we started taking them off a little bit, thinking the girls would flock, but nothing happened.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's our age. I'm not sure what's happening. I swear it used to. Like 10 years ago, we'd have been fine.
That was the move.
Yeah, maybe.
No, we wouldn't have.
Well, I was thinking back when I was 13, if I did that, dude, nothing.
Oh, you have been arrested.
Oh, yeah. Well, you think the opposite, because, yeah, we used to do it all the time, but it was just dudes all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dudes would come flocking.
Hey, as long as I got flocked around.
Yeah, who cares? Well, speaking of Coco, we were doing some of the stuff that happened this week. Masked Singer just started up after the Super Bowl. Did you guys watch that show? The Masked Singer.
I know what it is.
I know what it
Yeah.
is. I don't watch it, though.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
kids
it's
like
okay.
it.
The first season, they only had they didn't have very good celebrities. Like, I didn't know who 90% of the celebrities were when they take their mask off. So basically, dress in these crazy costumes, sing, and then the judges try to guess who it is. And then the worst person goes home every week. They unmask him, and it's a huge deal. Like Donny Osmond.
Yeah, I
won
saw
first
him on
season.
that, yeah.
Like that was the biggest celebrity they had. But now they have like Lil Wayne and like some like legit. Tony Hawk got unveiled tonight. For those that are listening and haven't watched, good luck. But
Oh, spoiler alert.
yeah,
Spoiler alert.
But Coco, for some reason, her and Nora loved the show. But like, and this has happened since every season. They'll come, like, I don't really care for the show, so they'll watch it, and then we're like in the other room, and they'll come running in every time, because every time someone sings, every judge makes a guess of who they think it is. Like, and they talk about who they think it is the entire, like, for every singer, every episode. And so it's the most annoying show to watch because Coco and Nora will run in. They're like, oh, they think it's Shaka Khan. You know, they have no idea who it is. And then they'll run back, and then they'll come back 30
It's
seconds later.
Beyonce.
Yeah, oh, they think it's, and they'll say names that I don't even know. You know,
They-
and I'm like,
they
cool,
have no
Coco, I don't
clue.
care. You know, like, hey, the rabbit just took out an orange hat. He has an orange hat now. And I'm like, Coco, I literally don't care. But I'm trying, and it break her heart every time I feel bad, but it's whatever. So let's get into the first segment. So the three questions we asked. Well, let's start with the first question. The first question we asked was, what does your, let me read it. What is something your parents do that you swore you wouldn't do when you became a parent? So we had some good answers here. I'll start with mine.
Math.
Yeah,
Who went with math? That's a little heavy.
So Koi Kachuk, yeah, Jeremy just says meth, which is how funny. It's true.
Wow. This is getting heavy in here.
My biggest thing before we get into these is like my dad, and Matt, you probably remember this. My dad's the king of this, and I'm like almost annoying to where I don't even let Sloan go 5 feet away if we're at the checkout stand. But you're a massive line at Macy's, Walmart, doesn't matter where you're at. You get to the front, Dad's like, hey, hold on one sec, gotta grab something else.
Leaves you in line.
100%.
Leaves you in line, not in line,
And then by
leaves
the-
you at
Yeah, the
like,
checker,
you're
and
checking.
everybody's waiting.
Everyone's waiting. You're 6 years old. You don't have any money. You don't have a wallet, no card. This is back in the cash days.
And people
right?
are getting mad. And
Oh, dude, I'll be right back. And then you're just the hopeless eyes. I still have PTSD from that.
Dude, that's funny because I remember that very vividly. But
Many a
I wonder,
time.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember until you brought it up. But it happened every time.
Yeah, you've shoved that down deep, but now I brought it back up.
what was it he was getting? Was it milk that he would like?
No,
for, like
it was
just-
always something
There was
stupid.
just something.
It was not
huh?
important. I'm always like, let's pay for them. I'll go back and get it and go get in line. But it was always like,
He would
that's
just leave it.
That's a price.
Well, and it was
for
always like
sure.
something was on sale too. It was like, well, we've only got 13 pounds of bananas.
Yeah,
but
yeah. If we do 14 pounds, we'll get 10 cents. 10 cents
Yeah,
off.
it was stuff like that all the time.
Dude, and yeah, he leaves you. I mean, it's one thing. No, actually, no. There's no excuse for ever leaving. I was gonna say it's one thing if you're the only person in line, but even then, like how disrespectful to
Oh
this
yeah,
checker.
to everybody else too that's waiting.
Oh, and then
like,
there's people behind.
that's
dude.
what drives them nuts.
And you just are. I'm like peeking over the shelf, waiting. You know, looking over the checkout stand, and then you see him half mile away, running back, full running back.
Oh, and he's stopping, and when he's running, he'll put the brakes on because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
something else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like
turn
you'll
back,
see him trying to do
disappear.
the math of like, oh, maybe.
disappear back into another
Oh,
aisle,
dude, yeah.
or stop and say hi to someone or something on the way back. So now if that happens, like even if I forget something, like the only thing I went to the store for and I'm in line, I just either bail out completely with all my stuff, or I just
like what
literally
normal people would do.
Yeah, or just
like
check
just
out.
get out of the line.
Yeah, leave like the cart there, leave my wife with the cart, and then I'll go back and get it and get back in line for another hour. I don't care. But there's nothing more stressful to a young kid than being left in the checkout line,
Well, I remember doing that actually after you
or they send you.
Well, I was when
That's
we were
even
married.
worse.
I'd
Yeah.
do it thinking it was like a normal thing.
Yeah,
Because I grew up with it.
That was
Finally, Jess
acceptable.
was like, if we're freaking checking out, we're checking out.
Yeah,
Like,
we need to be ready to go.
Yeah, like, and she'll always call me because I'm roaming the store, and she'll call me like, "Hey, where are
Wait,
you? I'm at the
wait,
checkout."
you were doing it?
I thought it was normal. Dude, you know when you grow up with things that are like,
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah, you
assume
don't
are
know.
normal.
You don't know different until
Someone else
you grow
points
up.
it out that they're like, that's weird. Like,
that's
what are you
super
doing?
weird. Yeah.
Oh, we've been pointed out many times.
Many
on
a time.
Things. But I was never paying attention to other families in line to seeing if their,
Oh, I get
their
so
old man was
stressed.
leaving.
That's like one of my, I guess, faults is like I care way too much about what other people think.
Yeah.
And so I'm like hypersensitive about that stuff. Like if I like any situation, but that was like the pinnacle. And then when they send you, like, no, Dad, don't make me go.
Yeah.
Don't make me go. No, you're gonna go. It's on aisle 3, and then you go to aisle 3. Nope, not on aisle 3.
Can't find it.
Can't find
Meanwhile,
it.
they're waiting.
Oh, then you just disappear. I just go wait.
all
Go to the bathroom.
I go to the bathroom.
Go to the
for
bathroom and
30
just hang
minutes.
out.
Yeah, let's see how long he'll wait.
And
out.
it's all on you because he
Yeah.
says, "Hey, all these people are going to be waiting for you, so you
yeah,
better
they
hurry
say it in front of them.
and make sure you get 3." Oh, that
That's
is
too
funny.
true. Oh man, so that was mine. What do you guys have any before we get into these?
I was telling these guys earlier, my dad jokes were total dad jokes, like the worst of the worst. And, I swore, like, as you get older, you're like, I will never be that guy. Like,
Yeah.
those jokes are, and he would try to do it in front of your friends.
Just hard
like
eye
roll
roll.
in and try to
Yeah.
be super funny.
Super smooth.
And I find myself doing it every once in a while. I'm like, what in the crap?
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing those stupid punny jokes and
Yeah.
stuff that you
Yeah.
think are super funny.
Yeah.
And it's super annoying. I just wish my daughter's the one that pointed out the other day, like, Dad, you think you're funny? And I was like, oh,
I've become that guy.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, but it's I'm in the same boat because I do them all the time. And our dad's insanely bad at them too, and he still
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah,
But
Bryce.
now I catch myself snickering at his stuff.
It's become funny, huh?
But the worst thing is, like, I'll be by myself in the car and like come up with a joke, and I'll
Laugh to yourself.
laugh to myself, and I'll get mad at myself for laughing at myself. I'm like, dude, I can't do
What
that.
am I doing? I'm an adult. Like, why am I doing this?
it's
Yeah,
like
my
that.
kids wouldn't think that was
That wasn't
funny. I
funny.
think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like that meme where the guy's looking in the mirror and it's like, why am I like this? It's too funny.
That's what we were talking about with the cameras. I have my work phone, and I always take pictures at work for products for customers.
Yeah.
Like daily, and my kids get their hands on my phone at work
Oh,
or
yeah.
at home, and they always take selfies.
Yeah.
And so when I'm at work, I got a customer standing right next to me, and I go put the camera on, take a picture, and it's on selfie mode every time. And dude,
It's never a flattering photo,
it
by the
feels-
way.
Filter's
so
already
dumb.
on for the doggy ears or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
It has
got
the
the puppy
things like
ears
the, it has
going.
like the pig nose,
Yeah,
and
the
the
look-
customer
just-
looks at me like, "Why are you taking selfies like that? Like, who are you?"
Yeah, and you're like, it's my thing. Just
Oh,
relax.
dude, it's bad.
As soon as you open, just the dog just, you know how does that sound? That lick.
That's when you just drop the
You're
phone
trying
and
to be
walk
super
away.
professional with someone. You're like, oh, okay.
Drop the phone. Well, along those same lines, I have a friend. I'm not gonna say names because his parents will murder if I was telling the story. So it was his mom's phone. They were at his parents' house. So he's like in his 30s. So his parents are 50, 60. They're at his parents' house. She's got an iPhone. Her Apple Play plays like basically the background on the TV is like the pictures from her phone.
Yeah.
So they're there. Him and his family are
Oh,
just getting
something
there.
awkward's about to happen.
Yeah, parents are out in the backyard swimming or whatever they're doing, and they're walking in, and all of a sudden, just freaking nudes of the mom, 50-year-old mom, come up on the TV because it's just pictures from her phone. She comes in just screaming, like tries to cover her. My buddy's just cracking up laughing. It's his mom, which I'm like, why are you laughing? You should be crying.
Dude,
Gosh.
she was crying inside.
Yeah, and then so the wife like jumps in front of the TV and's like, turn it off, turn it off. They're like jumping for the remote. I'm
But I feel like
dude,
we need to know, is she hot? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, that's when you throw the TV on the ground.
Yeah, that's when. That's when you throw anything at the TV. Just
That is
that's
so
a
bad.
$600
And he's
mistake.
laughing. He's laughing at it.
Oh, dude,
no, this
look
is
at
so
that. Oh my
funny.
God, that's kind of creepy that you were laughing about it. But anyways,
Oh my goodness.
Chad, you got anything that your dad did that you tried to avoid?
Yeah, I've thought about this for a few days, and
Yeah.
The only thing I could come up with is I've become my dad.
Yeah.
He is his dad.
Every little aspect.
Like
I've
he
never seen
lies
your
his dad.
My dad, he's 70 years old this year.
Yeah.
And he still goes to the Olympus high school basketball games because he lives a
In the
block
boundaries.
away.
In the
He
boundaries.
loves sports and it goes to
Who do you
everything.
know? Oh, my neighbor's kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, why do you go to the Skyline games? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Well, and he'll
But-
know the stats of what's going on too, like
but I-
who's the high scorers and.
But I'm the same guy. My wife's like, "Hey, Friday you have a date." I'm like, "Well, I'm going to the Lehigh basketball game. I don't know.
You don't have anyone playing on league.
Yeah, it's like your kids go to Skyridge. Yeah,
I don't
but
care.
Lehigh's at home and Skyridge is away, and stuff like that. But also, the radio in my car is sports talk radio,
Sports radio.
and
That's
I
good.
hated that as a kid. Like,
Oh,
Dad,
yeah.
turn on some music, and my kids hate it.
Yeah,
Dad,
we
why?
were-
And I'm like, don't turn off Gordon Monson.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Could you imagine, like, seriously, when you were that age, like, I remember you were so mad at your parents when they listened to talk radio. You were just like,
Rush Limbaugh, dude.
what
You
in the
remember that
crap
guy?
is this?
Oh, yeah.
And now,
I mean, he's still going
now
strong.
you find yourself listening to podcasts and stuff all the time that,
Yeah, like this one. Just,
here we are.
We're just shredding. The
Well, I
podcast.
get in
Please still listen.
my dad's truck, for
Yeah.
work, and it's Rush Limbaugh and
Oh,
Sean
yeah.
Hannity,
Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck,
That's that hardcore
24/7.
stuff.
And he's always so stressed too about like what's going on in the economy. And I'm like, dude, don't listen to
All
it.
it
You
does
won't
is
be
stress you
stressed.
out.
Yeah, I don't
Shock,
listen to any of that.
shock jock stuff.
yeah.
All the, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, Dad, don't listen to it and you won't be stressed.
It's not really informative radio.
Oh no. Another thing too that I reminded me of what old Bryce Lander used to do all the time, and you'll know this. So we lived in Alpine growing up, and whenever any of the boys would either page him or call him, or
Yeah.
he was
Sweet
always either at the point of the mountain,
Yeah.
almost home, or at Purple Turtle, depending on if
Those
he was
were
coming,
the
if he was
two
coming
points?
from north or
Yeah,
south.
yeah.
And he could be in Ogden,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's at the point of the mountain every single time.
Yeah.
So you find this guy used to be like, all right, don't even call him because he's
Yeah.
gonna,
Purple
but-
Turtle, just
but
the,
for
the landmark
few
gas
years-
station that's been there for 45
Yeah.
years.
So for the first
Purple
few years,
Turtle though, like he's not even on the freeway.
I
Like,
know.
how's he
He's
by
on State
Purple
Street.
Turtle? Like, what's he
Yeah.
doing on State
well,
Street?
he would
Yeah.
take that and head up that main road and come all the way up. But
The
you'd always
canyon
know,
road.
like, hey, Dad, we're here, like, waiting for you. I'm
Yeah.
like, are you really at the point of the mountain? Oh, yeah. I'll be there in
Yeah.
5 minutes.
45 minutes later.
Oh, easy 45 minutes later.
Yeah,
and you're
that's
with your
gracious.
friends waiting for a ride or this.
But
and
you
that.
gotta give him a break. That was before Google Maps. I mean, he was just doing
Yeah.
licking the finger and kind of trying to figure out like distance is more easy to tell at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Just
Like
waiting for the wind.
Yeah, he's like, I think I'm 45 minutes out, right?
According to this, I'm only 3.5 inches away.
Yeah, looking at this map.
I know. I don't know how people did like road trips back then without
Oh.
Google Maps. Just a full blown passenger, just navigator in the front seat.
Dude, I travel all the
Huge
time for
map.
work now. I think you probably do the same thing. If I didn't have Google Maps, I do not know where I would
Yeah,
be.
you land in Minneapolis and you're supposed to be in an office, and yeah,
You just type it in, you know exactly how long
Yeah,
you
what
are
did you
before you
do
get there,
before?
and you just, I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Your dad, I'm going to give him a little bit of credit. He's like in Ogden, but he's like, well, I might be there in 5 minutes.
I can
You know,
see
he
the
doesn't
point
know.
of that.
Yeah.
dude.
It's off in the distance.
I feel bad because I'm not much older than you guys, but I'm probably the oldest person you've had on the podcast
Oh,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But when I traveled
Matt
selling
probably.
college textbooks,
Did you use a map?
Oh, the full blown.
Atlas.
You
big
had
Atlas.
the Rand McNow, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, Rand McNally.
But my company, they had their own with their logo on it because all us
Oh, that's unreal.
traveling booksellers.
So it took you just 10 times as long to find places, or did you just get really good
Chad's
at maps?
pretty good at maps. He's
Yeah.
still like our map guy. When we go to Lake Powell, we have no idea where we are. Everybody like just slowly passes the map until it gets to
Yeah.
Chad.
Chad's out there with the
Chad's the
sundial.
guy that's going to read the instructions of everything.
Oh, 100%.
I'm surprised he didn't read the instructions on how to set this thing up for you, like when we put this podcast together.
It's like, you don't look
That-
like you're doing that
He's all,
right.
this doesn't look right. I'm going to go ahead and read the instructions over here.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how people did it. I mean, I guess most people just stopped and like asked people for directions
Well, the gas
every 5
stations.
miles. You know, go to the second. I saw a meme the other day that said the same thing. Like when you ask your parents where something is, and they start giving you directions as you're just typing it into Google Maps. My parents still do that. My dad will still do that. Just go down to 1300 and take a left, and then you'll go down just 2 blocks, and you'll see you can't miss it. It's right. I'm like, Dad,
You
just
know the
give me
red
s-
church. You
Please
always
give me
make
the
it with the
address.
So I just had a really funny experience, like what we're talking about. Craig, our father-in-law, Craig Bennett, funniest guy ever.
Yeah.
But we were down in St. George, and it's on the boulevard. There's a new hotel. I think it's called the Avenir, that's right. It's a Marriott affiliate that's right there on the like boulevard, like
Yeah.
right down. You drive down the boulevard.
Yeah.
And he were texting, back and forth. And he said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at this one." And I said, I sent him the link to just be able to
The location.
put it in,
yeah, the
location
pin.
pin.
Yeah,
Click
yeah.
it,
So
and
he could click on it
pulls
and send
up.
him to him. Well, he calls me and he's like, "Where? I can't find you." And I'm like, "You said you were like 5 minutes away. It's been like 15 minutes at this point."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm driving south by Dixie College."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, you're
Yeah.
not even close to us." Like, and I started like explaining to him, and like seriously, it took probably 45 minutes, and then finally I had to go flag him. Like, went out in the street and like flagged him down. And he was like, "Oh, I just decided I thought I knew the place really well, so I just didn't use the Google Map directions."
Oh,
and he
yeah.
drove around for like 45 minutes all over the place, and it's on like the boulevard.
Oh, that's a pride move right there.
Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, like
That's a boomer move.
I didn't even know what to say to him. Like I talked to my wife later that night. I'm like, I think your dad might be slowing down a little.
That's awesome.
Hey, you got to give it to him though for thinking. Of,
He wasn't going to use it. He's like, no, I know this area. He's like, I grew up. I've been coming to St. George
Well,
since
yeah, everyone
for
knows St.
50
George.
years.
And
So
like the boulevard's a boulevard.
he's like, you're on the
Hard to find.
boulevard.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
find you. And he drove. I guess he said he drove by it twice.
Probably
and
'cause
I'm like,
yeah, they haven't built a new hotel there in 30 years. That's probably
it's
why.
it's exactly right.
Yeah,
You get to
yeah.
the end. He was looking for the sands
Yeah.
or whatever that one is.
It's a sand.
Isn't that what it's called? What's that? That old
A
motel.
little outdoor pool that's almost on the sidewalk.
Exactly. It's basically on the boulevard.
That's unreal. We'll get into some of these answers. So, Daniel Mc. Oh wow, I shredded that name. Tanner McDaniel, Gab after church forever. Yeah, I'm bad at this. Like I'll go, not church, but I'll go to my.
I was gonna say, really?
Yeah, really. It's been a while since I've seen the inside of a church, but we'll go to the neighbor's house to grab like my kids, and it's always annoying because the kids like they get super pissed when you get there that you're there to get them. But then you end up talking to the dad, and it's like, "Dad, let's go." I'm like, "Dude, you're the one that begged
Yeah.
me to stay here. Like, take advantage of this moment and keep hanging out."
That's a good
You
one.
know, when I pick you up, you
Yeah.
have an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Minimum.
I'm a sucker about that.
I'm the same way. I do the same exact thing.
Grant Cummings, GWC 15. Spank, yell, timeout, whip, wooden spoon, pull ears, slap. You did not have that bad of a childhood, Grant.
The wooden spoon was one of my thoughts,
Yeah.
and hot sauce in the mouth.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh
Hot
yeah.
mouth. That's what we used to call it. It was cayenne pepper. Spoonful of cayenne pepper.
We used Tabasco.
Dude, full cayenne pepper, which yeah, that's
We
like
ne-
the
that-
cinnamon
I
challenge.
never saw that. Never saw that one. That's so. What do? You
everyone
put
I've
hot
talked
sauce.
to, everyone I've talked to has yet to
we do
that
it.
too.
Brock's gets hot mouth.
The hot
on
sauce is
pretty
just a
consistent
finger of hot
basis.
sauce, right?
Yeah, just a
Just a
dab of
dab on
Tabasco
the
on your
tip.
tongue when you.
Oh no, dude, we were cayenne pepper. A spoonful of cayenne pepper.
Yeah,
A
have you guys ever seen
spoonful,
this?
and it was
no, we're
crunch,
dead.
dude.
Yeah, like
100%.
we exaggerate a lot, but this is the one thing where we're this. I'm dead serious. A spoonful of cayenne pepper. Like, have you seen the cinnamon challenge?
Yeah.
I'm really.
It's basically the same thing, but with cayenne pepper.
Oh,
full
my.
spoonful. Yeah,
So-
it was bad days. Bad days at the Flake House.
So Brock's was acting up a while, like a few weeks
You
back.
did not cayenne pepper.
Oh
him.
no, I cayenne pepper him. Oh, for sure. Oh, he gets hot mouths. It's not as much as we did. We got it pretty regularly. It's probably like
You're getting
I
a
don't know, once
teaspoon.
every-
You'd get 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, so we have a smaller one. So he probably gets it once every month or so, month and a half.
hot mouth. I've never heard of that.
Neither have
Yeah,
I.
we call it hot
That's what it
mouth,
was.
dude.
Hot mouth was something else in high school.
So he's freaking out, yelling at Jess, and so I lay out. Okay, you say that again. You're getting the hot mouth. He says it. All right, hot mouth. But then you got to stick to your guns, right?
Yeah, you have to.
So he keeps going at Jess. I'm getting ready, and Jessica's getting like, all right, we're getting this kid.
She's getting heated. Yeah.
So he starts knocking it out of her hand, and it's going everywhere.
Oh yeah, cayenne pepper.
Dude, she fills that thing pretty chock full.
Yeah,
And we got the kid like almost pinned down, dude. pouring
Oh,
it in.
yeah.
Oh, he is freaking out.
tripping.
But the hot mouth, dude, I'm like, dude, I used to grow up with
Yeah,
that's
that
why I like
triggers
cayenne
me.
pepper. I dump it all over.
It was the
everything.
luxury if you got a bar of soap. That was like, oh, I'll take soap all day.
Give me that. Give me
She
that.
Scraped it. Remember when she'd scrape it on the
she said,
teeth?
take a bite down and then you scrape it on the back of the teeth.
Oh yeah, dude.
Call
Don't
CPS.
let go. You scrape both sides. And it's like, "Oh, all right.
Yeah, that was rough. I've done like, yeah, same like Tabasco or like on Coco a couple times, but that's or maybe once, and she flipped.
We
So-
used to get the old belt too. I remember you
Yeah, we
said
talked
one of the
about it on one of the
podcasts.
podcasts,
Yeah.
talk about the
And the
belt.
worst was like the waiting, the anticipation, dude.
Oh yeah, that's PTSD too. That's just straight stress. You're waiting 3 hours for your dad to get home.
Knowing the
I
belt.
see that.
But the sucker, I'm a sucker now. Like I'm empty threats for years.
Yeah.
And so, but like somehow that was like Bryce did not let back down. I think
When he said it, he had to follow through.
well,
with
it's because my mom. I mean, now I'm an adult. I'm like, oh yeah, my mom would have ripped his head off if like she's sitting there threatening for 3 hours. He gets home and the bells. Then that takes away all.
That's
of
like
her
the
power.
worst as a dad, though. Like you're
Yeah.
the mom. I get the mom has to deal with it, but then like
Yeah.
you have to do something. You're like, oh, I'm gonna spank him.
I had no part of
Okay, like I think he's pretty cool. Like I like this one. Like we're gonna spank him.
I like this
yeah.
one.
Oh, I gotta spank him now. Okay.
Yeah, you come in, they give it's like a cop show. They just give you the paper. This is what happened. You're
Yeah,
like, okay.
yeah.
I guess we're gonna spank
Exactly. Well, here we go. Let's go in there. Let's get this on.
Well, then you grab him and
the
give him
rap
the old.
sheet.
you. Yeah,
You grab him before to give him like a real stern talk. Like, dude, sorry, this is your mom, man. I like.
yeah. Don't
we're
count
cool.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
we're
cool.
good.
Yeah, don't move it. I'll make it only one.
Dude, that first one, we actually the pin us down and give us the old nose blow.
Yeah, I asked her. I'm like, is this so? This is Brittany Sitterud. So Dad used to pin us down, blow into our nose with his mouth. She says, haha, just a tease. Like, this is when they were like having fun. But I was like, is that punishment?
No, you don't do the punishment. We do it for me and the kids. Always
They trip
nose
out?
blows. Oh, they freak out.
Oh, yeah, that's out.
they're laughing the whole time.
Yeah, it's probably the weirdest thing ever.
That's the weirdest
Never done
noise
that.
that comes out too. You remember the nose blow, don't you?
Yeah, I think you've given me one actually. I'm seriously, it's probably like 2 Christmases
old
ago.
nose blow.
I was like sleeping, and all of a sudden I get this weird man kiss, blows on your mouth, and yeah, he got me. I think it was seriously like
sounds
3
blow on
Christmases
the
ago.
nose
Yeah,
and
it's
out of the mouth.
disgusting.
Oh, that
You feel all
sounds
this
super
pressure
weird.
in your face, like in your ears and stuff.
Oh, I think I did give you one.
You did. I can still remember the beard feeling on my face. It was gross.
Is that 5 o'clock chef? You like so much.
Oh, I don't have much hair on my face, so I didn't know what to think.
Oh man, couple more of this one. And Mr. Mathley, bedtime at 7:30. So his parents did that. Well, I mean, we're like 8, so we're probably just as bad as that.
Had 6 kids. I like that one.
That's Daniel Lawler. Had 6 kids. Matt Francis, he says sales. Although my dad was a old school traveling salesman, I still swore that he wouldn't do sales. So here's one that's a little more serious. Hildoria put unnecessary guilt / shame on me for stupid things, trying not to have any of those feelings in my house, especially with my kids, especially with church stuff, love and acceptance only. I feel like that's kind of a generational thing too. Like I mean, we talk about a couple episodes back. We talked about like the sex talk, like which parents even gave it to you, and I did a poll, and it was like over 60% said their parents never even gave them the sex talk. And I think it was just like a generational thing where you just didn't talk that much. And so I think that's kind of part of that where, I mean, I think it's just that kind of that boomer generation or whatever is just like not
Dude,
very
me and,
accepting. I don't want to make a blanket statement, but like,
No, I think you're accurate. I mean, with my
Yeah.
parents, I don't know how yours were, Chad, but like the sex one that you're talking about,
yeah,
I never got the talk.
Yeah.
Like I was figuring things out
Yeah.
like as a late, like senior year. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? That happens?
Yeah, but you also have older siblings. You think they got it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt that my parents like we went through the maturation program and that was it.
Dude, we weren't allowed maturation
Yeah,
programs.
that's
You couldn't even do the maturation program?
that.
Tyson was
We-
talking about that
We
too.
grew up in a pretty strict house.
So with this, so
Oh
the
my
same
gosh.
mentality, I think that Hillary's talking about though is like the unnecessary guilt, shame. And she's like, especially with church stuff. I mean, that's a whole nother episode. But like, I think it's just that generation that was like way more strict, way more like if you're not this and this and this, then you must be, you know,
Then you're
A
not
plus B
then you're not a
must
good
equals
person.
this.
Yeah, you're not a good person if you're not doing this.
Yeah, and so I think that's kind of, and I think that's just that whole generation's mentality. There's no gray; it's black and white.
Well, I think too they had like a lot of pride in that their kids were doing certain things. That's how
Yeah.
their self-worth came from it, right? Like if their kids
Yeah.
weren't doing something, it was like super
Oh,
embarrassing
it's
to
keeping
them.
up with the Joneses. Like,
Super
in
embarrassing.
a
They had
moral
to-
way, yeah, and now it's changed more to like, you know, I just don't want my kids to be mean. That's like literally they could be crackheads and be nice, and I would be fine. Like I don't care. Like I
He's a
don't.
nice person.
Just be nice to people.
Yeah. You're selling drugs. That's like I hope you're a nice drug dealer. You know.
You're giving good discounts.
Amy Forsyth made the oldest kid babysit. Yeah,
Well, she was the oldest kid. That's why she's saying that.
So she probably doesn't make her oldest kid do it. I was 5th, but I still babysat all the freaking time when I got old enough. I'll probably make Coco babysit. I mean, we only have 2, so it's gonna be hanging out basically. It's not like babysitting.
I babysat all the time, and our oldest
Yeah, we went through
babysits.
channels. we went through cycles of like as the next person got oldest, then you kind of had to babysit for those 2 years or whatever.
You couldn't wait to be 16 and drive, so you didn't have to be the babysitter
Oh,
anymore.
we
So true, when you were
Especially
home.
Especially our parents were New Year's Eve shoppers, or no, excuse me, Christmas Eve.
That's basically what you're
They
saying.
go shopping on Christmas Eve.
Oh, 90% of the Christmas was done on Christmas Eve.
That's my parents too.
So they get home like at
They're into
you
those
serious?
deep- those
Eight or
deep,
nine-
deep discounts, man.
8 or
They're
9
waiting
o'clock
for
at
it.
night is
Yeah.
when they'd come home. We do a couple hoagies or whatever and then hit the hay.
Yeah.
But we babysat.
That was your
all
Christmas dinner. Did you say Did you say stogies? Dude, you'd smoke a couple stogies and then go to bed. That's
Oh,
great.
We could have been doing that at that point. You know,
Do
they
people
would know.
call sandwiches hoagies anymore? Like I don't even.
That's
the
what we
hoagie
did.
yogi, dude? Remember the hoagie
Oh,
yogi?
yes.
It's just yogurt and
That-
sandwich.
That was right there at the junction.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. That place is gone. That place is money. Hoagie yogi / teriyaki bowl.
Oh
Or
yeah, the teriyaki sticks.
Yeah, that place is
teriyaki
money.
sticks. That was great.
We still
Yeah.
do hoagies.
Yeah, we
they-
still do them
They
Christmas.
still do on Christmas hoagies.
Speaking about your life,
I've never heard of Christmas hogies, by the way. That's the first I've ever heard of
That's
that.
a tradition.
You know, Christmas
Like people do ham.
like-
Yeah, people do like, but Christmas
Christmas
hoagie.
Eve.
Christmas Eve hoagies.
Christmas, we did the regular like Christmas
Okay.
spread.
So
or
maybe
whatever.
when we do Christmas Eve at the Bennett's, I'll bring hoagies.
Yeah, if you do that, that'd be great. I'd really love to get into the hoagie tradition.
Don't forget the sprouts.
Oh, sprouts. That's what made hoagie yogi so good. Is they had
Yeah.
sprouts.
That's
Oh, yeah, no,
probably
the
what your
place
dad
sells it.
always had to go back for in the line. He forgot the sprouts.
Yeah, no one ever remembers the sprouts.
I got the mayo.
Here's another good one. Chad, you're talking about kids getting old enough to drive. Speaking about driving, my kid. So this is Jordan Steffen. He was on last week's episode. This is a rule at my house: make my kids get their Eagle Scout before they could get their license. So I mean, Boy Scout.
Does Boy Scouts even exist anymore?
They went in bankruptcy
Yeah,
yesterday.
I was just gonna say I don't
they
think
really?
if they're waiting on that one. I don't
Yeah,
think
how
they're
lucky
gonna.
are any kids that are into scouting? Scouting's out, but anyways, we had to get our Eagle. It was same with us. We had to get our Eagle Scout, which for those who don't know who Scouts are, look it up. But like, it's the highest thing. It takes hours and hundreds of hours
Hundreds of.
before we could get our license.
So you got yours then?
Yeah,
Yeah, because all of us got ours except for I think the 2 youngest. Did.
Oh, after me, it was the morals went out the window with Justin, Kyson, and Data. the rules.
That's
went out-
another episode
the
you need
rules
to
went out
do because
window.
the rules change as the kids are
Oh, it
older.
was
I
the-
was way harder on my oldest.
It was a shift. It was a shift. Yeah, the biggest shift ever.
Oh yeah, they like. I think you get
Such a double
tired. I
standard.
think they just get tired of like
Oh,
having to deal with it. And then they
100%.
immediately are just kind of like,
100%.
well, he came home, so
Yeah, he's
At
alive.
least he's at least alive.
Yeah.
Like he has his legs and arms, and
Yeah, we had to get our. I mean, it took me probably. I didn't get my license until I was almost 17 because of that.
Oh, really?
I do an Eagle project. I did a warning track at the high school, which looking back is just like
you
so
couldn't
much
get your
free
license
labor.
until you were 17 because of it.
Until you had your Eagle, you could not get your license.
That is brutal.
And I kind of like.
So it
tried-
wasn't one of those open-ended threats that
No,
I've tried.
My parents are.
It was you're stuck
they
to
do
the
it,
guns.
Like I said, dude, they had threats and they had threats and they stuck to them.
Oh
So I was like waiting. I'm like, they're gonna like this is gonna be annoying driving me around. But then it ended up just being like, yeah, find a ride. So then I'm like, oh crap. So I did the warning track at our high school
For the baseball
for the
field?
baseball field. Pulled all the sod out, rented all the equipment. It sucked.
Well, we
And
didn't
then I
have
did
a-
make the team the next year.
But you prepared it. But you prepared it great.
I know, I
Danny.
prepped it. He screwed me.
Next time I see him, I'm going to bring that up
Yeah, next time. Do you see him ever?
all the time.
Oh.
He has a son Dalton's age, so we play baseball against him all
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Say, remember that time that Nate Flake did your warning track and then you didn't get him on the team the next year? That was nice.
Then you
Still-
cut him. That's
he's still
awesome.
Super bitter
I didn't
about
come
it.
to his freaking the early morning stuff because I had wrestling, which I can't believe I just admitted I wrestled on this, but we're gonna keep going. Last one for this one: buy crap toys at every store to make me shut up for 5 minutes. I'm super guilty of that, so
Dude,
I
I'm
guess
not.
our
I tell my
parents-
kids to just shut up. Like,
Yeah.
there's no crap toys going around.
I buy stupid stuff for my kids all the time when my wife's not there. My wife's like super diligent about it, but I go to the store and I'm an idiot. My kids are like, "Can I get that?" I'm like, "I guess." Does
Yeah.
mom let you? They're like, "Oh yeah, of course she
yeah,
does."
They play you like a
Oh, I get played like a
fiddle.
foot all the time. Like all the
That's
time. They're like,
unreal.
"Oh, but would mom let you?" Yeah, 100% she would. And then we get it. I come home with this stuff and she's like, "Why'd you buy that?" They said that
They
you
said
usually let
do.
them.
You said you did. She's like sucker.
They said
She's
I
like-
had to buy it. because
Yeah,
I told them to.
yeah.
Oh, man.
It's funny, Nick, because one of your earlier podcasts you talked about when Sloan was going to Arizona and
Oh,
your girls had to come apart. Just
Oh,
yeah.
dude. They thought it was the worst day of their lives.
You know, so I have that with my 9-year-old. When
Yeah.
my wife works, she's a nurse, so every
Yeah.
once in a while she works the night shift. And, you know, the youngest daughter, the 9-year-old, she doesn't like to see mom go to work.
Yeah.
But now my 15-year-old, he's, Mom, you working Saturday?
He figured out he gets the free pass. Huh?
All of a sudden, curfew's an hour later.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
'cause-
You're the chill one.
oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you chill or do you just don't know the structure? Because that's me. Like my problem is I don't know what's going on.
Do you not
I
know
literally don't, and so I'll like because I'm traveling enough too, and I'll show up and I get
Yeah.
played all the time. And I don't want to like throw Megan off, but like that's me. I'm like,
Then
so
you
does
can be
Mom
like-
usually? Oh, absolutely. She usually lets us
They
do
need to
this.
give
I'm
you
like,
like a manual of like when you leave.
Yes.
Like, hey, this is what normally happens.
Yeah.
This stuff flies. These are the times. Yeah.
Megan's really
This is
good.
where they
though.
can go.
She-
This is who can drive.
Yeah, this is what they regularly eat.
I used to laugh at it because she'd leave like this very strict detail of like stuff my wife would like,
Yeah.
and then I realized like, oh, it's because I really don't know what I'm
no
doing.
idea what I'm doing. Yeah.
Like I'm the worst.
Yeah, we talked about that one episode about like eat like gifts, how you have no idea what they are until they open them. You're like, oh,
That's
cool.
that's me 100%.
Christmas.
That's
Yeah, I'm
just
like,
a daily
oh, we
thing.
got
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
a puppy.
Jed doesn't even know his wife's gifts. Until
She does buy.
Just Amazons them.
Yeah, well, I have this problem too. When we order stuff to the house, like if I order something for my wife, if I'm not there to receive it, she'll open it.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's the worst.
Oh, that's
like the worst. I have that situation going on. So like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I just don't know what's going on. But like, even if I ordered a present,
You
she,
sound very disconnected.
yeah, yeah, I'm a good dad, I promise.
We'll let the listeners decide. All right, the next question on here. This one, I thought I'd get more response on this one, but I didn't get a ton. I don't know if the way I worded it was dumb, but at what point do your parents stop being your parents and become your peers? So this is the question that Cassie, remember at your house, Matt, she brought up. So this is basically saying like, at what point do you, I don't know, like I took it as like, at what point do you just not like, you're more of like a peer relationship with your parents and not like
You're not
they
scared of
still
them
have,
anymore.
not scared of them. Like they don't really have a say on what you're doing. I was talking to, David's my youngest brother is 22, and I was talking to him today about this, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still super scared. He's single, and I feel like I think at the point you get like married and maybe have kids, which some people mention, but like I think that's when you start to move into like the peer. I don't know how it works because I'm still in his same boat. But he's like, yeah, I still like feel like I have to do whatever they say, and as grown adults. And I think our family, especially the boys, are like very guilty of this.
Oh yeah,
From what the wives have told us.
yeah.
Just like, yeah, like we still feel like our parents they basically can tell you, hey, do this or do that, and you like still have to do it. I think it's just like you feel guilty. Like psychologically, I'm just like in this like headlock, I don't know.
If you're at the store with Bryce and he goes and he tells you to start checking out, you're checking out. You're
Yeah.
not asking any questions.
That's flashbacks, dude. That's flashbacks.
No, I think I think they're always going to be your parents to like
Yeah.
a certain extent, like
Yeah.
as far as advice and this and that. But yeah, I still feel like there's like the parental, that's my parent and I'm going to do what they say.
Yeah.
I think it switches though from like you just do it because like you're gonna get in trouble if you don't, and then as you start getting an adult, you do it because you respect them.
Yeah.
Like it becomes more like if my dad called me right now and needed something, I'm gonna jump on it. Like I'm gonna go and help him.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think the help
Right.
thing's there, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like as far as them kind of like trying to parent you, I guess, where I don't think that's ever going to stop, but I guess it's how you personally think. Like, are you gonna take that and like feel like you have to do what they say, or are you gonna take it as like, oh, thanks for the advice, but I'm
Dude,
good?
I think I had 2 or 3 kids before I realized that my dad didn't know everything. Like I'm serious. Like I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
conversation with him about something, and then all of a sudden dawned on me like he doesn't
a-
know this any better than I do.
Yeah, he's making this up.
Like he's making like,
Yeah.
seriously,
He's
but it
just
was
on his-
like I was like 20, like in my late 20s probably when I
Yeah.
all of a sudden dawned on me like,
Yeah.
oh, dad doesn't know everything.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think a lot of my friends I talk to are kind of the same way. I mean, it took me 32 years to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's just weird. Like you all of a sudden dawn on you like, oh,
Do your parents
doesn't
know
know
about it
anything.
yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were not. That's
you're not breaking news right now.
Oh no, they were not happy. I got a long text when I was in Hawaii.
Dude, I
my
was
brother
there when it
Justin
broke
freaking
out.
roasted me.
Your brother did?
Through you
Yeah,
under
my
it.
brother Justin. So I haven't really talked about it on the podcast. My parents are so super Mormon parents, but tattoos a no go, and so they Justin, he was on episode 4. He roasted me. Apparently I was in Hawaii at the time, but I had gotten this tattoo maybe 3-4 weeks earlier, And Matt, you're with him. He opened up Instagram and he's like, "Hey, Dad, look at this picture."
He supposedly was showing a different picture, and for whatever reason,
that's
Nate's
bullcrap.
picture showed up, strategically showing his tattoo. And Bryce Lander was like, "Dude, what is on his arm?" And he
I was in the
zoomed
pool, and it's literally from like 30 feet back too.
Oh,
He
zoomed
spotted
in
it
and
like
saw
parents are
Hawkeye.
Columbo, man.
No, but Jocelyn claims that he navigated. My dad has never been on Instagram in his life. He claims he navigated from the picture he was showing him of someone else's account, a family friend, and he went out of that account into my
Search.
account.
Balderdash. I call Balderdash.
Into the picture in an instant zoom.
100%.
He
Dude,
te-
so
yeah,
what
Jocelyn
happened
felt
is
bad. He texted me.
Jocelyn
He's like, "I'm
had-
so sorry, dude. I didn't mean to do it."
Jocelyn's got pretty big anxiety, and he couldn't take the stress of him knowing.
He cannot hold
but
a
his
secret.
parents
in.
not knowing.
He cannot hold a secret.
and
in.
it was killing him, dude, inside. So he
And it's
had
not
to-
like I told him like, "Hey, keep this hush." It's just like common sense. Like, "Hey, don't rat me
Yeah.
out."
Yeah.
And the fact that I was worried about it, that's the lies.
There it is right there.
There lies the
There's
problem.
exactly what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so I don't think I've moved into that peer stage quite yet, and I don't know what year that's going to be, but some
You
of these
know-
answers are. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, is it one thing like what I thought about when you like my switch is I don't want to hang out with my parents to where, oh yeah, let's
You'd
call
love-
mom and dad, let's go to a movie or
Yeah, you're a peer at that point.
yeah, and that happened pretty early for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
You know, like my dad, sitting at the football games by himself.
Yeah.
You were always
I
there, two peas in a pod.
I slid right
you
in.
see each other from
Yeah.
the other side of the
Like,
bleachers. Oh, you heard too?
Dad, what are you doing at the PG football game? You live in Camas now. He's like, oh, I just looked. It was the hot game of the
rankings are
week.
pretty- yeah, the- yeah, the game to
he's,
watch.
He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, a bunch of people said kind of the same thing where they're like, I had like kind of what you were saying, Matt. So Maker's gonna make it. Lindsay, when I had a child of my own, though they'll always be parenting me as they are much wiser than me. When you're Brittany Siderud again, when you're financially and emotionally independent, but parents will never stop parenting. Dayton Jones, never always get advice from them, but definitely more in common with them as I get older. Trevor I swear in front of my kids. I think that's what he's like when he starts swearing in front of his kids. That's when they become his peers, I guess. Which I guess I'm peers with my kids right now at that point. Austin Hansen, post high school for me, and then a couple more. Grant Cummings ton of question marks, but I stopped accepting parenting in junior high. That's Todd Cummings' little brother.
Okay.
And then Takoi Kachok, when you move out, which 18, 19.
Well, and I think it's not that they're parenting as much. I think there's more advice giving because parenting, like right now with my kids, it's like
Yeah.
not demands, but it's hey, this is how
Yeah,
it's
that
going to
depends
be.
on the age too. Yeah,
And now it's not. It's just more advice, and I think that they're probably always parenting,
Yeah.
but not coming off as they're trying to kind of come off in a general way to help give advice. But
yeah,
I agree with that one. Or always take their advice because I think it's going to be they've always been through what we've been through.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Different
it's
timeline.
switched from advice like before where it was they told you what to do to now it's more counseling, right? They're kind of working with you to help. Mine's usually typically parenting questions like, hey,
Yeah.
this is the situation. What would you do?
What did you do?
What would you do in this type of scenario?
Yeah,
Well, my mom will text me. She's pretty in tune with stuff, and she'll get these random texts every now and then. And I'm thinking, oh, dude, and I don't. At first, I'm like, really? But then a few weeks down the road, like when whatever comes to fruition or whatever it is, I'm like, oh, dude, she knows what's going on,
yeah. Hindsight's 2020, right? All right, let's go to the next question. This is hot debate. At what age do your kids get phones? This is specific to you guys because you guys got kids that have phones. I'm assuming, right? Old enough to have phones.
We have a couple.
People are tripping about this one. Got a lot of answers on this one. Damnedest thing. That's Michael Sardoni. No clue. Send help. I don't know, man. Everyone's got like either way hard stance on this, like no phones, or they're like, oh yeah, well you can have one at age 12, but it has to be the brick or the Gab Wireless, which is a
what
hot
we
company
got.
now. What did you guys think? So which one how old are your kids? When did you give your kid a phone? You're smiling.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Just 8
once
years
again,
old?
I've been probably viewed as like the parent that doesn't know what he's doing over
Mom
here,
wasn't
right?
home, and
so I accidentally gave them a cell phone. My daughter played competition soccer and was gone a lot, like gone doing stuff at a very young age. And so it was more out of convenience that we got
Yeah.
one because we wanted to know what she was doing. Like we wanted her to be able to contact
Always
us, to
gone,
be
yeah.
picked up, to pick her up places or do things. It was so. She had one like I want to say it was like 10 or 11. Like
Yeah.
she was pretty. I think probably 10 or 11. Yeah, that she started. But we was more of like, hey, this isn't yours, but we need you to have
Necessity.
this, right, so that we can get a hold of you
Was
and
it a
stuff.
smartphone?
It was a smartphone.
Look at you, dude. What
Yeah, but it's locked
all-
down. It's locked down pretty heavy. Like it was really locked down because I mean you're obviously nervous that you're going to get him into problems, right?
Yeah,
if you give him something,
That's the
or-
biggest issue.
Exactly. So it was locked down really heavy, and she's been great, and it's been fine. But then same thing happened with our boy Jake. Now he's going to
Yeah.
be turning 12. He just got one though, so
Yeah.
11's been kind of our
Yeah.
litmus.
Which
the
is
other
like,
ones.
what's that, 7th grade?
He's in
Sixth
sixth.
grade.
He's in sixth. So yeah, they both got him. I think in sixth grade.
There's kids at Coco. So Coco's 8, and some of her, like, I feel like.
Oh,
some of
yeah.
her
I've got
kids'
buddies that
friends
have-
them.
yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Smartphones?
We have first graders.
I don't
There's first
know.
graders that my
If they're smartphones, they may just be like the little Motorola.
yeah. There's first graders that my son Bronson, the youngest one, has. That's friends that have it. Why do you need one in first grade? I don't know.
That's great. They have the watches now, though, that like you can text and call.
Yeah, and that I mean, should be
should
able to
be
get a hold
fine.
of them and stuff. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
We don't. Matt, what about yours? Your oldest has one.
Yeah, we got her one in 7th grade. I was under the impression that
Yeah, I remember
14 or 15.
Yeah.
That's kind of what our deal was, but apparently it wasn't what I was thinking. Which
He's
is
not
fine.
in charge. He's not in charge.
Yeah, which is fine. So, but she's got the Gab. It's kind of a dumb phone.
Yeah.
We have a kid's phone that doesn't have internet. It has internet when they're at home on Wi-Fi, but it's pretty locked down. And the kids will take that, whoever's leaving for, more than a few miles out or whatever.
Yeah.
And that actually ends up staying home quite a bit. But Taylin, and she'll text and call, but that's about all she can do.
Yeah.
I don't think she loves it, but she's accepting. You know what I mean? She accepts
She
it.
doesn't know any better, right?
Yeah, well, she
Probably does because her friends.
Her friends
have
all
it.
Her
have.
friends
That's
had
the
one.
problem.
That's the problem
though.
is they're starting at first grade.
That's what I'm saying. The problem
they're
is
seeing
that
their friends with phones since
well,
first
and people
grade.
always like try. This is the other funny thing. Like people like with devices, they're like, "Well, I don't want my kids playing games. Like I don't want to play in video games." They go to their
That's the
friend's house and they
least of
play
your
with them.
worries, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they go with their friend's house. They're gonna be playing the stuff. So like you either help teach them or
and
not.
Like the TikTok thing. So I'm like, oh, she doesn't have internet on her phone, so
TikTok's a
she's
lot
not
less,
TikToking.
dude.
And dude,
Not
she's
TikToking.
TikToking all day long. They're on her friend's phone.
Did you call it tic tacking? I think I heard tic tacking.
Tic tac toe all day long, dude.
She's tic tacking.
He's playing
So-
tic-tac-toe.
But
And you know if she's tick-tocking, then she's hip thrusting. 'Cause that's just what they do.
so tic tacking leads to knick-knacking, doesn't it? It's just a general step up.
Knick-knacking.
It's unreal.
No, so I don't know, but at the same time, she does kind of know what she's missing out because we were in the no clue zone and we gave them Instagram accounts like at 8 or 9 years old, just kind of free willy, and they only follow some friends, but so we took that away after about a year.
Yeah, you had no idea what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now she knows what she's missing out on, and she wishes
Yeah.
she could, but I don't know. I don't know when we give her a real one. Probably like at 14. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, no one knows. What about you, Chad?
We gave our oldest one at 12, 7th
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
And I would say hold off as long as you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to have that open relationship with your kids.
Yeah, that's the thing, is
And
you-
my wife does. I mean,
Yeah.
she's really good at having that constant communication and
Yeah.
looking through the phone with my son and my daughter who's 12. She has one now at 12, but we had to get her one because he got one at 12.
Yeah.
I would say,
Once you set the
I would
precedent-
say
precedent
wait
set.
as long as you can, but like Jed says, convenience factor,
Yeah.
social,
Yeah.
like the last thing you have 2 daughters.
Yeah, yeah.
Are your daughters to be the ones
The ones left
getting
out
made
or-
fun of
Yeah,
or
yeah,
left
yeah.
out or bullied because they don't have
Yeah.
a stupid device,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and as a parent, you would do anything to make sure your kids don't
Yeah, they fit in. Yeah.
they're not put in that
Yeah.
situation. So I think we fall under those peer pressures and get them for our kids, but you have to have that open line of communication because, there's so much bad things that
Yeah.
can happen. You know, the Instagram, the Snapchat, TikTok,
yeah.
all that. And so you get them the phone, but then you try and limit that, and then you put a password on it, and then they just, oh, here, put the password in, and they do a screen record before they hand it to you. Then all of a sudden they know the password.
All those suckers. That's
Yeah.
smart. I didn't
Oh,
think
they
about
know
that.
all the
Yeah.
they know all the
so
tricks.
your password is not.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah,
unreal.
I know.
They,
I just sold out every kid in.
Yeah. Everyone go check your screen records.
Exactly.
That's wild. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's how they find out how to get the password.
I
And-
feel like though, like I agree with you. Where if you don't give it to them, I'm not saying like hey, if your kid throws a fit, you should give them stuff. Which I'm a sucker for that doing that. But I think that, I mean, it's kind of like, to me, it's like the whole like marijuana laws. Like everyone is so worried about it, but then they change the law, and people that want to do it are gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
So you might as well regulate it and have it be turned into a positive, you know, and then, like, if you have a good relation, like, you use that as an excuse to kind of build your relationship with your kids and talk to them more, and hey, we got to talk about this and this and this, and just like be able to check in with them. But I think, yeah, I mean, I feel like they want it until they have it, and then it's like, yeah, it's cool, but it's probably not as cool as they thought it was going to be.
Correct.
And they just all want, most of them probably just want it because it's there, you know. But I think if you have I mean, my girls are 8 and 6, so I have a long ways to go. But
Well, and I think too, like Chad was saying. So I know that Dalton and his mom have a really good relationship. Same with Taylor and Jessica, super close, and you know she knows that hey, mom can look at this whenever, dad can look at it whenever.
Yeah.
And they kind of go through the videos or this and that together and text messages.
Yeah.
There's nothing hidden, but I think having that relationship before the phone. Because that's the last thing
That's
you
not
don't
good.
want to try. And all right, now
Be
you're on a phone. Now we're
reactive.
going to get really involved.
Now we're
now
going to
start
care
talking,
about
now we're
you.
gonna start talking to you.
My wife had our son's email or his iMessages that linked to my phone, so I saw everything that was coming through. It was so annoying though.
That's brutal.
Bro. Like it was terrible. Like when he
Yeah.
very first started, because the kids at that age like wanted to try to text a bunch, and oh
Yeah.
my gosh, man.
Yeah.
I'm reading through some of them though, and they were hilarious.
Yeah, you're like, that a boy, that a boy.
Yeah, I'm all slaying it.
Dude, I was talking to I was talking to my buddies maybe last year when we first started this kind of conversation with some of my friends. Our kids are all way too young for phones yet, but I'm like, dude, by the time my kids gets in high school, I'm sure there's going to be apps and stuff that which it already has, right, where you can text it to your phone. But I'm like, I don't know if I'd like that, because then, like, you know, you get a text at 1 a.m. like, hey, meet
bombarded.
me at the park or whatever, and I'm like, I'll meet that.
Yeah, you're like, I'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get there first, you know. But I think I think that would drive me insane after a while, just constantly be stressed.
The problem,
about
it's
it.
like anything, like it's like the trash email and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you don't read it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like pretty soon you're not monitoring it because you're like, I'm so annoyed by this.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing a bunch of it. So it's better to, like you say, just review
Have
it,
an open-
go back
yeah,
and look at
yeah.
it, make sure that they know you're
Yeah.
going to be looking at it.
My parents never. I mean, I was like I'm in 9th grade when like the brick phones started like getting in. You know, like the flip camera phones came out when I was a sophomore in high school. So we were like, no phone or whatever. I actually had Matt cosign on a phone for me when I was 17 in my junior year. My mom got so pissed. So I went and got a phone.
Forgive me,
Matt
Mother.
was
Forgive me.
Matt
That's
was
brought up. That was that. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, it
just
got
got
brought up
thrown
not too
under.
long ago. We like a couple months ago, but yeah, I wanted a phone. All my friends had phones since they were sophomores, 9th grade, and I was always like having to, hey, can I call my dad on your phone? It was like so embarrassing. So I had a job. I was a sophomore in high school, junior in high school, and I had a job, and I'm like, why don't I just pay for a phone? Well,
Go get one.
$80 a month or something. And I hopped on his family plan and got a phone, a little flip phone, and they were pissed.
Well, funny story, and you guys were involved in this.
Oh boy.
Is
Oh, let's not get into that.
We're like 40 minutes into this, and I feel pretty good that
no,
we're still in good
no, it's not bad.
standings.
So before that, because it was when I was dating Jessica, and he would use my phone before he
Kinda
got
about
a
to
phone.
roast me.
No, and you,
Oh, I remember this. You got a text, and I remember it was from some girl,
your wife picked up my phone,
and my
up
wife saw it.
and
Yeah.
like picked the phone up and read.
Thought
the
he was
text.
dating some other girl, and it was bad
Oh
news.
yeah,
But it was a
yeah.
girl that you had been texting, Nate.
I had no clue walking into it. So these guys all get on the big idea they're going to beat me up.
So this is before
No,
I had.
please.
Well, no, the wives went to these guys and like, hey, we got to confront Matt.
I was
You know, did we
texting
tell
a
Jessica about
girlfriend
it?
when I was on your phone
My
before I had my own phone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got
Well
caught in a
played.
scandal.
And when Matt was dating, like very first coming into the family, he was dating the youngest. Like there was just ridiculous stuff happening, like just all the time. And they
Yeah.
would always, the sisters and family would always come, and then it would fall on my
They'd have a
shoulders to go
meeting.
talk to him.
Hey, Jed, go talk to
Hey
him.
Jed, you need to go and address it with Matt. Like we need to talk about this. And I'm like, why don't you guys talk to him? Like, why don't you talk to him? So it was
Why does it
always
have to be
me.
me?
Matt, how many awkward
It
conversations
took
did
me
we
a
have?
while to get in good with the family, and it's still like I'm almost there.
He's the favorite now.
It's been 13, 14
Him,
years.
him and Chad are tied for favorite.
That's unreal.
No, it was funny.
Let me read a couple of these answers. There's a ton of them. I won't read them all. For this is the whole age phone thing. Chad Thornley, so when they can afford the bill, that's actually smart.
Taylin pays for her phone. She pays $20 a month.
Yeah, that's great. Once they can pay for it, then how bad do you actually want it? Joe Apple, hold out as long as possible, like you said, Chad. I'd prefer high school. This guy says, McDaniel Tanner, as soon as you're ready to have them have access to porn, at least for a smartphone. Which again, I think you just got to talk to them. Dallin Wood, when they graduate, don't do it. It's like handing them a gun and saying good luck.
Maybe I can see that.
Thinking junior high, Jage Melt. Thinking junior high, but not a smartphone. I'll do call. Let me see. I'll do call watch. This is Grant. I'll do call watch when they start leaving to go to friends' homes. Phone at 12 or so. So middle school, another when they move out. Maybe 12. So these are all people that have younger kids that none of us have any idea what the hell we're talking about. But 8th grade, no intent, no internet, no SM. I don't know what SM is.
Social media.
You can lock down those, like people
Isn't
always
that the
get
same
really
thing?
judgmental about
Yeah.
smartphones, kids having smartphones. You can lock them down pretty
Pretty
heavy.
good with like that. Yeah, just texting. and
Yeah,
calls
they have
until
that new
16.
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because you can
Gizmos.
lock down almost everything. Well, even in these iPhones, like you can
Yeah.
lock them down pretty heavy.
That's what this guy says. Never a full smartphone. Kids have gizmos now. We control who they call and has GPS. 12. A bunch of people say 18. Never. 18 the soonest. 18. 6 months. It's a teether. That's funny.
To me, like I actually agree with some of this stuff, but I also I see
Until
say,
you're in it.
convenience. But
Yeah.
when you're in it and you realize
Yeah.
it's but to me it's more the annoying of they how often they use it.
Yeah.
Like kids will use the phone if you don't limit it. Like if you don't say, hey, you can't have it in your room.
Yeah.
So you have to charge it up here. You have to leave it up here.
That's smart. Yeah.
So that stuff stays away. But the other thing is like if you allow them to, they'll have their head on it all the time, texting with friends and doing TikToks and playing on it. But like you have to
Yeah.
limit some stuff.
I've seen you in some TikToks, dude. You're
I'm actually
aren't
pretty
you
good.
trending?
Yeah, if I'm not trending, I should be. You know,
I've been browsing TikTok and seeing you. My buddy Sardoni, he sends me almost every single day. I'll wake up and first, I check my phone, TikTok for 2 a.m. from some link from Doni. He games at night and he'll send me every single morning without fail. It'll just be something.
heard
I'm
it's
like, this is
pretty
how I
addicting.
start my day, dude. Just with the most wild videos.
Well,
But,
one
yeah,
thing
I
on
can't
the phone-
imagine like my kids. That's the Wild West. TikTok is the Wild West.
So it's funny because I was talking to a guy at my work who's younger, and this is like a month ago, and he was explaining what TikTok was, and he's like, "Dude, it's basically like the first version of YouTube when it was just anything goes, and
Yeah.
there's no ranking system. It's just like
Yeah.
make a video, put it out there."
Yeah, that's well, like they can't have porn, they can't have violence, but it can basically come up to that line and stop at that line. But it's also like it's like YouTube early days. They can't. It's getting so crazy that they can't
keep up with it.
Yeah, so stuff's going on and staying on for a couple hours before it gets pulled off. I remember this is sorry. I think I told you the story about the valet driver in San Jose. So Doni, same thing, sends me this video. I'm in San Jose at this QuickBooks conference for work, and we are staying in this like super nice hotel that has no parking. We're with a bunch of other people, so every time we have to go get our car, it goes to the valet driver, and you text the valet driver, because they park like way off site, and it's like right in downtown San Jose. So you text the valet driver this big long code. This is like the code you get the first day. So I just been copying and pasting this every single time I need the car, and because I was like the driver the whole week. So Donnie sends me this TikTok that was like this is like the first couple weeks we'd been sending TikToks back. Let's sound like grown man sending TikToks back to each other. When we say that, we're sending links. We're sending funny ones. We're not actually like doing.
Yeah, you're
it.
not
Oh,
doing.
you're-
I'm picturing you doing one in the mirror.
I need to clarify. No. He's sending me funny links that like he's like, dude, some of this stuff is wild. You need like he's sending me just these super funny videos and like just idiot kids like pouring out, Coke on their heads in the kitchen in front of their parents, and until the parents get a reaction, then the dad tackles them. Just crazy shock. That's all shock value stuff. So he sends me this one, and this got me in trouble twice. This video twice in the same trip. So he sends me this one, and I'm driving, and I'm gonna admit it. I'm a very distracted driver. If you're texting me and I don't care where I'm at,
You're looking.
I'm looking, and I'm texting back right then. So I'm driving the Suburban over the Golden Gate, like we're almost at the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm with two of my buddies from work, and he sends me this video, and I have it hooked up to like the Bluetooth on the car, and it's like the most vulgar video. Not that it's like it didn't show anything, but it's this video of this girl. Okay, I'm gonna try to describe this as best possible so you know what's going on later in the story. It's this video of this girl drinking. She's saying, she says, I'm lactose intolerant. Okay. She says that, and then it snips to her chugging a thing of milk. Then the next screen is her face. She's got big glasses, just her face, doesn't show anything else. And she makes like the most, it's so cringy. And she's like, oh, I have to go poopy. Like that's what she says. And then the sound of the most ridiculous diarrhea you've ever heard.
Like Dumb and Dumber diarrhea?
Like worse than that.
Wow.
And then, so it's like probably 7-8 seconds of that. Just the worst sounding diarrhea. And like from the start of the video to this point, it's like maybe 3 seconds before it gets to the pooping sounds. And then she burps like super loud, and then the video's over. It's like a 10-second video, but it's like so, like, it's just like offensive how bad the sounds are. And so so that comes up while I'm driving in the Suburban on Bluetooth over the whole car. And my buddy's like, what in the hell are you watching? My buddy just sent me a TikTok, right?
Like, it wasn't.
So I thought that was bad. I was kind of embarrassed, but like my buddies know me. It's like, whatever. So then the next morning, so I had sent that to every human I know, right? So the next morning, I wake up late for this conference. I'm scrambling. And then I go to send the valet driver the code.
You sent him that link.
Bro, I sent him that link.
Oh my gosh.
I get a text back. So I usually get the auto reply, your car will be ready in 15 minutes. Thank you for staying at the Westin or whatever. I get a text back. So like when you're in a hurry, I'm like, send him, and then I'm doing some freaking blow dry my beard, right? Whatever I do. This thing it gets frizzy in that California humidity. So I get a text back, and it's not an auto response. It says, sir, did you mean to? It says, sir, do you need your car? And I'm like, what the hell? Why did I not get an auto response? I look at it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I sent him the TikTok video. So I go downstairs and I go to the kid he's like this like 20-year-old dude who's been doing the car the whole week. And I'm like, I am so sorry that I sent that. That was a joke. It was from my friend. And he's like, oh, I didn't see it. That guy did. And he points over the other side of the lobby, and there's just this big dude just shaking his head. He's probably thinking like, this deviant dude.
You're
like
so
this
gross.
Guy, this guy gets off on like pooping. Yeah. Oh,
Stanley Steamer.
bro. And after that, I actually like deleted the app after that. And then, but I still, like, he sends me the links. And I still look at them on Chrome or whatever on my phone. But I deleted the app. I'm like, maybe I'll get off the app after that. But that was like my TikTok.
I still don't get it. My daughter does some of it and stuff, and I've done videos because she showed me how to do stuff. But like, I still don't get it. I've never like searched on it or seen what it does. So
yeah, it's
I don't get
Who's
it.
making the
Wild
dances? That's what I was asking my wife. I'm like,
no,
who's
someone
the one that comes up with that?
People just make them and then they go viral. And then like you can.
Then people copy
the,
them.
the biggest thing about it is like you can use that audio and take. So it's like if we made a video right now and it's me and you saying, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And then someone watches that video, they can take that exact audio. And you can say, use this audio. So it'll either use the sound or like, and then you guys can make a video with our voices doing it, right? And so that's like the biggest thing where that's how those little dances go viral or whatever. But
Do a TikTok on this thing. And
I don't even have it, dude. Too many poopy videos. I can't do it. I was so embarrassed. I've never been more embarrassed. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably revisit this as the kids get closer to the phone, but I think it's
Well, another thing too on the
it's
phone
Wild
is
West.
I'm not very good at it, but I've tried to, like, when I get home, is put the phone away, because the last thing I want my kids to, like, is
Seeing you.
Every adult, that's what you do when you're an adult, is you're on your phone all the time.
Yeah, I'm so
It's
bad at that.
news.
And I don't think it's gonna help, because I think it's inevitable, because
Yeah.
all their friends are gonna be it's taking over.
Meanwhile, I'm over here on my phone.
Yeah.
But I just want them to say, hey, listen, as a parent, you interact with your kids, you interact with your wife.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it, but I consciously try to
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
hard.
when they grow up, that's all they know is people are on their
Being
phone
on your phone.
all the time. You go
Yeah.
to any restaurant or anywhere, everybody's on their phone. And
Yeah.
that's all they know.
I saw a meme. Do you guys follow Gary Vee? He sent out this meme that says that it basically has two cartoons, and it's one of kids at a restaurant, and then that's like the mom throwing an iPad in the kid's face. It's like, hey, watch this, and then it's like kids at home, and they like and then the parents getting mad at the kids for being on a screen. It's like you can't have it both ways. Like you got to figure it out. Basically like kids giving where I'm
People use it as a babysitting tool.
Oh, bro, I'm so guilty of that. We go to a
Yep.
restaurant, like, here, just play.
Play with this and
play
let
on
us have a conversation.
I think it just at some point you just got to like talk to them. It's probably different with girls too. I mean, I don't know how many boys, but like how you handle your boy and your girl probably way different as far as having a smartphone, right?
Dude,
Right,
Could
yeah.
you imagine
Girls
a
are
smartphone in the Flake
too
house growing up
scary.
with 8 boys? Like everybody
Oh
had
yeah,
a
I mean,
smartphone.
look at Justin, Kyson, David. What happened to them? Look how they turned out, bro.
Yeah,
Only 3 of them.
Blame it on the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
The phone.
No Eagle Scout phones. It was crazy after that. It was madness. Yeah, it'd be crazy. But anyways, any last words of wisdom?
Chad,
We're
you
gonna
got
wrap
anything?
it
Be
up.
the wisest here.
All I've got to
Nothing.
say is I'm my dad.
Yeah, it's so true.
I can hear me loud breathing in my headphones. It's my dad.
And you can also see yourself thinking what games are coming on tomorrow.
The state champion. Yes, we're in the middle of
it's
state
Friday.
basketball, so you're in the
Skyridge
mix tomorrow.
plays.
Skyridge
Jordan,
plays. Lone
7
Peak plays
o'clock.
tomorrow. Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, that is funny. No, I would just say that the one thing I would say though is it is interesting how each child is significantly different.
Yeah.
And so the way you treat each one of them, like I gave my daughter a phone way earlier than I would give any of my sons.
You just trust.
And
I mean,
the trust wise and maturity wise and the
Yeah.
ability to like actually give her a structure and have her be like good with it.
Yeah.
Boys like, and it's just been my experience with what we had. Like
Yeah, yeah.
with the difference between them was pretty drastic. So yeah, I think we'll probably wait as long as we can with the boys, longer than we would with when we did with our daughter. But
Yeah. You can't have a one.
and I don't think it's one age or
One
one thing
policy.
fits all. Yeah,
One
and the kids
policy.
hate that. They want everything to be fair.
Yeah.
That's not the world we live in. It's more based on your maturity level and
Yeah.
readiness to be able to accept some responsibility.
Good
but
luck with that, dude.
Oh, I know.
Let me know when that kid gets that old over
oh
here.
gosh, dude, I have those 3 boys all in a row too, and it's a disaster. So they're all me. and
It's pretty
a
fun being
disaster.
on the uncle side. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys love it, but I mean, you talk about that video, but like they pass gas on each other and they're just
Yeah.
disgusting. So.
Oh, they'd probably eat that video right up too.
Oh, they would be like, "Oh yeah,
I saw that
this is
one,
So
dude."
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guarantee they saw that one. Just ask
so
them.
gross.
When you get home, ask them. All right, fellas.
awesome.
Thanks for being on. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
All right, see you all.